ski that was also hit by one of the rounds, but luckily that individual was not injured.
Do you believe the victims knew each other potentially, or are they from the area?
You know, right now, and this is very, very preliminary, we don't believe that the victims knew the shooter. Like I said, this is very preliminary, and that is what we're really focused on right now, the identities of everybody, but it is really looking like this was random, so don't believe that the shooter knew the people he was shooting at.
But did the victims know each other? Did the two people who
That is very important, and that is what we're really working on. We believe they may have known each other. We've got a lot of video footage that has been forwarded to us, and in reviewing that, it looks like those individuals may have appeared to be together. So we are thinking those two people did know each other. Yes.
do we have any age ranges of the victim or the shooter?
You know, I really don't have that. I don't have dates of birth. Um, I can give you gender. The shooter was a male individual. The deceased male was a male. And then the individual in Kalamazoo right now in critical condition is a female. I apologize, I don't have ages right now, so I don't really want to guess.
Can you describe the shooter? What did they look like?
You know, I did not see him. I was at the scene. By the time I got there, he was covered, and I did not physically see him. So I really can't provide a description right now.
Do you know about how many shots were fired?
And that is also something I don't know. That was part of why we had the area secured, not just to try and locate other victims, but also to locate and secure any evidence. Um, we do have the Michigan State Police Crime Lab, who I believe are on scene before I left. And then we also have the Michigan State Police. It's an accident reconstruction unit that has drone capability, and that can also help fly an area to help locate maybe evidence that is hard to see, by land. So we are still working on that right now, and I think at a later time we'll be able to affirmatively determine how many shots were actually fired. If there was more than one gun, obviously we know there was one gun. So we are working right now to find out if maybe this individual had more than one gun. That I don't know. But that is why we're still securing the area to look for evidence that can help us, make sure we know maybe how many rounds were fired or exactly more what happened.
What would you want the public to know who might be coming down to South Haven tonight?
Right. So what I want to say is that the responding officers did a great job immediately in securing the scene. As you'll notice, we didn't close down the whole beach. North Beach stayed open. So I can tell you as of right now, anyone planning to visit South Haven, this scene is secure. There's no current threat related to what happened today. It's very tragic, but right now, I would just hope it doesn't dissuade people from coming to South Haven. We have a beautiful community. We have very good, very competent police officers here, and like always, we have great support from area law enforcement who were here immediately. I mentioned in my press release the Van Buren County Sheriff's Department, the Allegan County Sheriff's Department, the Michigan State Police. We had two dive teams, Van Buren and Allegan County dive teams. Right here in the city, we have our own technical services department. They were helping our Department of Public Works. So, we're very fortunate to have immediate assistance, even though we're, a smaller department. So we're going to be working through the evening. And like I said, I will for certain provide an update with some more specifics, because I know everyone's worried about maybe how many firearms, how many shots, some of the identities. So we are working hard, and I will be able to provide an update here hopefully very soon.
To be clear, the woman who was shot or injured, was she taken to a Haven area hospital and then to a Kalamazoo hospital?
Yes, so she was first transported to Bronson South Haven, and then she was subsequently flown to Kalamazoo area hospital. I believe Bronson Kalamazoo. That is typically patients will be transported here and assessed, and based on the severity of their injuries, they can be flown out if it's very life-threatening. So she is currently in Kalamazoo Hospital.
Did you find a suspect's vehicle anywhere? And
Yes, we did. So we did locate the suspect's vehicle. It was not at the beach. It was further up into town. We had many officers helping trying to locate that individual's vehicle as well as the victims. So right now we have located the suspect's vehicle. That is here. We'll be securing that for a search warrant and to process it. And I think right now we are still attempting to locate the victim's vehicle or vehicles. So that is something else that we're currently working on right now.
Can you describe
any
this?
witnesses at the beach that saw him walking with the gun, or
Pardon
were there
me?
any witnesses on the pier that saw him walking with the gun, like on the pier? Or?
I believe that there are, and like I said, I didn't talk directly, but just the information coming in, I believe we have several witnesses who observed this person on the pier with the gun. I don't know how many we have who actually witnessed the incident, but like I said, I've got 2 officers in the department right now to help gather all the information coming in. So I think we do have very good witnesses, and then also a lot of the video footage has been very helpful too. I mean, unfortunately, it's there for different reasons, but it has really aided in this investigation.
Can you talk about this? First of all, my first question is, do you have a description of the suspect's vehicle? I think that could be helpful for the public to know.
I can tell you, since we have it here, it was a black Ford Focus passenger vehicle. And we do have that here. I don't believe we've gone through it yet, but we have that secured because obviously that'll be part of the investigation to maybe help us figure out if there can be a why this happened.
And then talk about too, this is the beach. This is a place that we have 4th of July fireworks at that families come to. That's a whole other element on top of this typically being abnormal for South Haven. On top of this being abnormal for South Haven, for it to be
Yeah.
on the beach on the pier, a place these families bring their children.
Exactly. It is, I don't really have words for that. I know people get tired of me saying it, but it is very unusual for South Haven. You know, I've lived and worked here for a very long time, and it is not the norm. And that really motivates this department to do everything we can, besides just solving a case or finding out who's responsible, but for going maybe a little bit further and trying to figure out, okay, maybe could this have been prevented? Sometimes it can, sometimes it can't, but I know with this we're going to be looking a little bit further because we don't want this to become normal in South Haven, because it isn't. And so that makes us work harder to get the message out there. So that's why I think it's important too to get out as much information as we can. Right now I just don't have a lot of the information I know everyone would like to know, but for sure later I will be providing more. And then, yeah, it motivates us to work harder. You should never take for granted safe, peaceful, beautiful community. And it's just a really stark reminder, unfortunately, that it can happen anywhere. But we are working very hard, and at least we can maybe provide some answers as to, you know, who this individual was. I don't know if we can answer the why, but hopefully, you know, we can learn from that, or it can maybe help prevent something like this in the future.
Did anyone help the woman?
Pardon me?
Did anyone help the woman who was there? Or
Bystanders, you know, that I don't know. I know the officers were there pretty quickly on the scene, and like I said, we received many calls. It is very common for bystanders to help. I mean, with anything on the beach, it's common if it's water rescue. So I know we were there pretty quickly. I know that the the female victim was located fairly quickly, so I'm thinking aid was rendered pretty quickly.
Can you clarify as to how you guys were able to identify the suspect's vehicle?
I believe, I think some information came in, although we didn't positively identify the suspect. We had some possible names of who he may be and maybe what kind of vehicle he may have been driving. So since it was so specific to a black Ford Focus, we kind of we prioritized looking for a black Ford Focus. There were none at the beach, so we just kind of expanded outward into the city a little bit more, and then it was found in a parking lot. So, yeah.
Can you also just clarify one more time as to why you guys think this was random?
Well, because right now we haven't been able to determine any relationship based on what witnesses observed prior to this happening. They didn't appear to be associating at all, and just from information we've had and a lot of the video footage, it didn't appear that there was interaction between the individuals prior to the shooting. So like I said, I can't tell you there absolutely was no relation. I'm just saying right now it's not appearing that there was.
And you said the female was in a condition at the hospital, but do you know where she might have been hit?
That I do not know. Nope, I don't.
At this time, can you describe the firearm used?
I believe the one that I know of, and like I said, we always look in case there were more, but I believe the one confirmed that we know was used was a handgun.
Has that been recovered?
Pardon me?
Has that been recovered?
I believe one has. But we always look in case there could be more firearms, or whenever you find one gun, it's always good to be thorough and check and make sure there weren't any more weapons of any type, a gun, knives. So we're still continuing to search to locate any other weapons, if there were any. We don't know, but that's part of what's going on right now.
You mentioned there's still authorities out there, so as
Yes.
of right now, is South Pier and the beach open to the public or no?
Half of South Beach is. It's just that area around the South Pier, I believe, is still taped off. I've been up here for a little while, but we just taped off a portion that we believed was part of the crime scene. So half of South Beach is open. It's just that area at the mouth of the pier and the pier. North Beach is still open. I think they temporarily closed down part of North Pier. But other than that, nothing is completely shut down. And like I said, there's no public safety threat related to this incident right now. I'm confident in saying that.
Witnesses told us they might have heard the shooter yelling things on the pier. Is that?
That's possible. I don't know that specifically, but I do know that there were a lot of witnesses, so I'm sure that we'll be able to determine if any comments were made, anything of that nature.
I think we're good. Thank you so much for your time, Chief.
Thank you.
Smells like supper.
That would be the fire department.
So much.
And again, I really appreciate working well with you guys, and I really do apologize for being so late in getting this out, but the smaller departments, each of us are doing like 20 different things, so just thank you for all you do, and you guys are the reason. I mean, it helps us get information, and I really appreciate it. So
You are the best, one of the best departments to work with.
say,
I want you to know
we
that.
appreciate you.
You,
Well,
You
one of
said
our
this took a while, but you
sometimes
did
I'm
so
like
much.
short because my phone's blowing up, my radio's going off, and I never mean to be short with you guys, but if I ever am, it's because my
You're
phone
working.
won't stop. But for sure tonight, when I do the update, if you guys call, I'd be happy to talk, but I'll for sure send it out. But I will for certain be releasing any news about tonight, I can tell you that.
Thank you. Yeah. This kind of situation is terrible. Just
better than throwing 12 lobs on her. It looks better than throwing 12 lobs on her.
Oh my gosh.
She looks like a little older Charlize Theron, the police chief.
Yeah.
If you had two of your double 200 ALs, hey, dude, that stuff is so
I love
deadly.
I love the
Oh
double
my god.